Where are we going?
What's going on, guys? My name is Billy. We're back with another video. Today's video, we're going to be talking about the Rise of Iron artifacts in the new Rise of Iron expansion. So we're going to be really talking about what you can do with them, not so much of what they are. So if you want to see the dirtiest warlock combination ever made, go ahead and stay till the end of the video. And if you want to see this in action, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, because I'll be trying to put it together very hard when Rise of Iron comes out. And if you want to see some day one Rise of Iron gameplay, why not follow me on Twitch? It's there we can have a party and have a good time. Link for that is in the description down below. Now that all my selfless promotions out of the way, let's jump right into this. I have 7 potential setups for you guys, so we'll get to number 1, the Galleons Artifact combined with No Land Beyond. So the Galleons Artifact functions very similar to Knucklehead Radar, except it's not just for the Hunter classes, for all classes, and it is a detailed radar instead of the normal radar. So very similar to the Keen Scout perk, and it functions exactly the same as Knucklehead Radar, so it gives you that radar when you're zoomed in with your primary. So No Land Beyond, you can aim in at a point, be able to easily tell when someone's about to round that corner and to get the headshot. Also allows you to pick people off that are about to flank you, basically giving you that additional situational awareness. So basically this combination makes a deadly weapon in the right hands even more deadlier. So I can't wait to see what people do with this and different combinations they come up with. Moving on, we have the Pair Runes Artifact combined with Meta Multi-Tool. So the Pair Runes Artifact essentially allows you to better prioritize targets in the Crucible. People with low health will be highlighted in red, and people with charged supers will be highlighted in yellow. So Meta Multi-Tool is already a very easy gun to use, very quick, very accurate, and easily kills people in a short period of time. So why not be able to use this to better prioritize targets too? And basically when you see someone with low health, boom boom, you're dead. See someone with a super, you usually have enough speed on you to create a big enough gap to where you can pick them off. And I just think this will make the Meta Multi-Tool that much more deadly. And this doesn't just work with Meta Multi-Tool, thought that'd be a good example. This will work with any weapon with a very low time to kill, such as the Grasp of Malik, Hawksaw, or Doctrine of Passing. And again, I can't wait to see what people do with this in the Crucible. Moving on, we have the Radagast Artifact with the Boltcaster Exotic Sword. So the Radagast Artifact alters your sword's block to essentially allow it to reflect energy-based projectiles back in the direction of your choosing. So Bungie went in and they kind of explained this a little bit, and they said energy-based projectiles range anywhere from an ogre's forehead laser to a Crucible opponent's rocket that they shoot at you. So basically, use the Boltcaster, you can block, repel people's rockets back at them, and then when you have an opening, you can hit your right trigger to fling your heavy attack, which is a electric frisbee, at your enemy. So not only do you have your sword attacks, your block, and your ranged attack with the Boltcaster, you also can now reflect rockets back at opposing guardians. I feel like this will definitely make people think twice about shooting rockets at someone with a sword in Crucible. So again, I cannot wait to see how people use this. Moving on, we have the Scories Artifact combined with the Stormcaller's Electrostatic Mind perk. Both these perks function very similarly. Whenever someone's near you, a increased rate of super recharge is given as an effect. The difference comes between the Scories Artifact gives the increased recharge rate to your teammates when they're near you, and the Stormcaller's Electrostatic Mind perk gives it to yourself when your teammates are near you. So I see this being used in one of two ways. One, the Stormcaller has both the artifact and the perk on, and then they can both give and receive the bonus when teammates are near them. And I also see this being used to where the Stormcaller has the perk on and their teammate has the artifact, so they get the double bonus of a even more increased recharge speed when their teammates are near them. So I don't know if that stacks. That remains to be seen once the game comes, or once the expansion comes out. But I can see this being a very good support setup for trials or other game modes. Moving on to the 5th setup, we have the Jeweler's Artifact combined with Universal Remote. So the Jeweler's Artifact eliminates sprint cooldown. So if you ever were trying to run from someone, you jumped off a ledge, and all of a sudden you found yourself unable to sprint again, that's sprint cooldown. The Jeweler's Artifact completely eliminates that. There will never be a point where you can't sprint. So why not couple that with the most epic and annoying shotgun in the game, Universal Remote. Basically, with this setup, you will never not be able to close a gap on an opponent. I'm not saying it'll make you immortal, but it'll definitely make you more effective. So I can see this being kind of trollish and whatnot. Also, just having no sprint cooldown just makes everything work pretty well for you in the Crucible, so I could just see this being extremely useful on its own, but why not couple up Universal Remote? Moving on to where it gets a little sketchy, we have the Galleons Artifact combined with the Trials playlist. So as we all know, Thorn is making its return in year 3, everyone's favorite or most hated hand cannon in the game. So Thorn essentially leaves a damage over time effect on you after you are hit by a round. So it can get highly annoying to where you get shot twice in the head, you finally get out into cover, and you die anyway because they've hit you with enough damage to where the time to kill kills you. The Galleons Wrath, or the Galleons Artifact, essentially significantly reduces the damage you take from damage over time effects such as Thorn or a Scorch effect from a Warlock's melee. So I could see this being a no-brainer in Trials, as you basically would always be able to absorb the Thorn shots, which I feel like lots of people will be using Thorn in year 3. It was extremely popular in year 1, so I don't see why it wouldn't be popular in year 3 now that it's making a return. So why not be able to absorb all those damage over time effects and still be able to shoot people? I just see this being a no-brainer. But where it gets a little tricky is, imagine using Thorn with the Galleons Artifact. So not only are you able to absorb the damage over time effect, you're able to give it to people with the Thorn. Think about that one, that's going to be horrible. Moving on though, we have our final setup, and I'm super excited about this one. Defoe Winters Artifact with any defensive subclass. That could be Shadow Shot, the Titan's Ward of Dawn Bubble, or the Sunsinger's Self-Revive Radiance. We're going to be focusing on the Radiance or Sunsinger class, and basically what this artifact does is it trades your super for another melee charge and another grenade charge. So you won't be able to self-res in Trials, but you will always have 2 grenades and 2 melees, basically freeing up your exotic slot so you don't have to use the Claws of Ahamkara, and you don't have to use the Gift of the Sun perk. So where this gets interesting is, since you don't have to use Gift of the Sun, you can now use the Touch of Flame perk, which allows all grenades to set enemies on fire, basically causing the Ignite effect. Then you can combine that with the Viking Funeral perk, which has now been changed to basically give a melting point effect to where enemies that are burning from the Ignite effect, they take more damage from all sources. So this is where it gets pretty OP. So you had double melees and double grenades. Your grenades would be able to set people on fire as well as your melees. So as soon as you punch someone, you basically can melt them with your primary or any other weapon. Throw a grenade on someone, you can still use your stickies, and let's say the area effect lights other people on fire, well then your team can easily come in and mop them up. I just see this being an extremely devastating subclass usage, or just a combination in general, because you're always going to be able to get an extra damage boost on people, and you're always going to be able to gun them down since you have this increased damage effect on them pretty much all the time, since you have basically four chances to light them on fire with grenades and melees. You could also just go the cheap route. Instead of using the stickies, you could just use the firebolt grenades, and you could light 3 people on fire at a time, and then you could just take them all out. I can't wait to use this subclass. I hope you guys can see it the way I see it, because I just see this being absolutely devastating. I think the trade-off for not having a self-revive in Trials is well worth it, and I cannot wait to use this setup. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you want to see more Rise of Iron gameplay, remember to subscribe. If you liked the video, please take the second to leave a like, share the video with your friends. Anyway, it's been a long one, but I will see you guys in the next video.